Hey, what's up? I got some more lore content for you guys. I've been getting a lot of comments recently about new players getting into the game and enjoying my beginner decks videos, so I wanted to double down and make even more expensive guides for players to jump in and start figuring out what decks to build. I plan on covering one region at a time so that I can explain the general idea of what the region is trying to do, the deck archetypes associated with it, and to allow players to choose what direction they want to go on in the region rewards path. Nasus, Demacia, and Freljord have all been covered, so check those out if you're interested, and now we're moving on to the spooky Shadow Isles. General Shadow Isle strategies include fearsome units that are harder to block than normal, lots of fast speed spells that can kill units and or heal, and some of the most diverse champions in terms of playstyles and decks. Before I get into the Shadow Isles decks for beginners and intermediate players, if you're new, please consider hitting the subscribe button to stay up to date with my content. I make deck profiles, beginner-friendly videos, gameplay highlights, and other lore-related stuff. The road to 5,000 subs is over. Thank you so much for subscribing and being here. Next is our journey to 10k. This is the only channel where you get my specific style of content and in-depth guides, so you won't regret subbing. I also stream on Twitch often, so check me out over there if you're looking for live gameplay of someone who's hit Master Tier every season, even peaking rank 1 a while back. Quick premise before I talk about the deck specifically, for super new players I have a tip for you. When you copy a Legends of Runeterra deck code from anywhere, it auto-saves to your clipboard. All you need to do is click on Import Deck once you already have copied the code, and the client will automatically insert the deck for you. The cool thing is, it will show you what cards you're missing so that you can work on resources in order to fully make the deck. Last side note, these decks are not meant to be craftable day one, as that is not realistic. I'm showcasing decks that can be made after a couple weeks of play, so you have to work towards each of them, some more than others. These are easy to learn, play, and craft decks compared to what else is out there, so with that we can finally talk about the first one. So getting into the first deck, we have my favorite deck of all time, Mono Shadow Isles, aka 40 Shadow Isles cards. Now, I will be talking about some things you can take in and out, stuff like that, near the end. But yeah, this is it. This is a Wraith deck, essentially. We want to play our Wraiths early, get them ramped up. We want to run Mono Shadow Isles, or as many Shadow Isles cards as possible, so that we can hit the Allegiance with Wraithcaller. Basically meaning, if this card is played, we want the top card of our deck to be Shadow Isles in order to get the proc. So that's super important. Me and this deck go absolutely way back, of course. I guess I can do the quick anime backstory. Mono Shadow Isles was a deck in the closed beta, and I think in the open beta too. I don't quite remember, but yeah, it was basically the beta, and it was the first deck that I ever fell in love with, and I hit Master Tier with for the first time. This is my very first Master Tier deck. It got absolutely gutted, nerfed over and over and over after the full release of the game, in the transition between beta and full release, and it never saw the light of day again. Until ya boy Tempo decided to bring it back out, modernize it, put in Harrowing, which was not a card that was actually used in the beta, and then figured out that that's a really good win condition with Hecarim. So yeah, this is basically a Tempo original. Viewers have constantly been coming to me like, this is my favorite deck, this is the deck that got me into the game, this is my pride and joy in the game, so it really makes me happy to hear that, because this is also mine. This is my favorite deck of all time, will always be. Hecarim is my favorite champion, Wraithcaller is my favorite unit. I just absolutely love this deck. I actually played this deck this season as well. I hit Master Tier with it alongside Bandleburn, so it is pretty good even to this day. I think it's always going to be a rogue deck of choice, meaning that it's good against certain metas. So whenever like the meta calls for it, I usually break this out, see what we can do, see if we can win some games with it. So for new players that want to get into it and try to figure out what's going on, the whole premise is to play a really strong early game with our fearsome units. Fearsome means they can't be blocked unless the enemy has 3 attack or more, so we can get in some cheesy damage against like 2 attack units on the enemy's board. Just like really good pressure in the early game, and then we transition that into mid game, like Wraithcaller on 4, Wraithcaller on 5, and then Hecarim on 6. We attack with Hecarim at least once, and then we Harrowing for an insta 1-card win condition. As long as Hecarim has gone off, it's usually game like 9 out of 10 times. So yeah, that's basically the whole premise of the deck. We also have some removal so that we can deal with aggressive matchups, and we're able to automatically deal with control because of the nature of the deck. The biggest question I always get is, why don't you run other cards that are not Shadow Isles, which you can do, of course. I usually like to do like 1 less Rekindler, maybe 1 less Harrowing, 1 less Mark of the Isles, and you can do 3 of whatever you want here. This is your tech slot. It's really, really cool. So something I've done recently is actually 3rd Mark of the Isles and 2 Scattered Pod. Let me see. Put him in. This is what my deck looks like right now for the most part, and it might actually be 1 Rekindler, triple Harrowing, Scattered Pod, some kind of numbers like this, which is always nice. I mean, Scattered Pod's really cool because this can force draw your Harrowing if you don't see it and you really need that win condition. You can do a whole bunch of different tech stuff depending on the meta. One of my favorite tech choices of all time is Culling Strike. This is a Nasus card. Culling Strike is really good at just like a quick 3-of at dealing with certain matchups, certain decks. So when the meta calls for it, Culling Strike is such a good inclusion. I also had a lot of success with Scorched Earth. This is a good card because you're able to do like Vile Feast, damage an enemy, and then kill it. This is really good against like Rek'Sai and stuff like that as well in the meta, so yeah. Oh, and it also kills a landmark, so it's good against Bandletree. So you could run this at like a quick 2 or 3-of as well. But yeah, the choice is basically yours there. I'm just showing the pure mono SI version with 40 Shadow Isles cards. Alright, so for the Mono SI Showcase game, we have Taric Poppy. Really strong mid-game deck. I want to keep Vengeance for sure so that I can deal with either of them if they come out. Mark of the Isles we can pitch, or we can keep, honestly, because our hand is pretty good. We always float turn 1, meaning our mana becomes spell mana, because we don't have any turn 1 units. So keeping Mark is fine. We'll do Mark float, we'll do Mistwraith on 2, Caller on 4. All we really need to do is find another 2-drop so that we can play it on turn 3, and we're actually kind of good to go. Or Vile Feast so that we can hold that too. That's honestly fine. Nice, perfect. Now we also have our turn 3 play. Let's do Arachnoid Horror this turn. See, he does attack with Goat, so we'll block. I chose to play Spider and block with Spider here because our Wraiths can get more out of control than our Spider can. Play Wraith now. It's a little bit of an investment. I'm hoping that this Mistwraith can hit like 1 or 2 times. And we can ramp him up. Also, look at this. Look at this board, our pet, our Shadow Isles card back, the nice green and teals. Everything looks so nice here. I absolutely love the aesthetic of Shadow Isles. Really pretty colors. Alright, what you got? Gonna open attack? If he attacks, I'll trade with Mark. It could be Taric as well. Yep, there's Taric. Wraithcolor's fine. Wraithcolor always hits Allegiance because we're not playing non-Shadow Isles cards. Gem is fine. Yep. So each of them are going to gain tough. We're going to do this. Yeah, that's pretty smart. That is a smart play, my friend. We can do Mark trade into it. Take the damage here. That's fine. Top deck Risen Mist or another Wraithcaller. Let's go. I believe. Withering. Not so good. We will just open attack, aka first action attack for the turn. Probably try another Mark here. Just deal with the Taric. You'll have to have something at faster burst speed. Hail, Sharp Sight, stuff like that. That's fine. We're taking away his offensive tool on his defense turn, so I'm okay with that. Is completely okay. Do Vile Feast here. Basically, once we get Harrowing, it's kind of game over. Nice, another Caller. Caller plus Withering. Another first action attack. I see you. Sure. Caller. Ah, Rally. This is pretty strong. Yep. Right. And now you're the protector of not being alive anymore. Unless you have another Sharp Sight in hand. No? Okay, well then. Well, there goes that play. No champion? Feels bad. We'll just pass. I love having Rekindler, but like no Elise or Hecarim throughout the course of the early game. It's always a little silly to see. If he plays something else, we're able to deal with it. We'll just do that. Another champion. No, that's Vengeance. No, thank you. And we can attack. Cool. Harrowing, oh Harrowing, where could you be? I have 2 Withering Wails. Am I gonna have to play Rekindler without his effect? I swear it's looking like it. Oh, what are these, man? These draws are so weird. I only run 2 Vengeance and 2 Withering, yet they're like stacked on top of each other in my deck. Hey, maybe it's good. Maybe we're chilling. Okay, we're chilling apparently. I made him mad enough to win right there. Alright, so for closing thoughts about this deck, highly recommend it. It's a really flexible deck. It's really diverse. It teaches you so many important fundamentals of the game. You get so many like reactive decision making. There's a lot of choices to be made each and every game with this deck, so it feels really good to play and to win with. I definitely play this deck a lot on stream, so if you want to see like the real Hecarim into Harrowing plays and stuff like that I couldn't fit into this video, feel free to check out my stream. I even climb with this deck in ranked, in a high elo, platinum, diamond, master, so yeah, feel free to check that out if you're interested in this deck at all. Alright, so the next deck I have for you is Viego Thresh. Now I chose this deck because you start with a couple Threshes, which is really good for new players. I also forgot to mention that in the mono SI deck profile you start with Elise. That's also why I chose Elise Hecarim. But yeah, Thresh Viego, really interesting deck. It's like a control deck. It has a ton of healing. We get to dip into Ionia a lot, so if you like Ionia, that's pretty cool, but we're playing double Shadow Isles champions. The whole point is to protect Viego, grow Viego, maybe get his level up, and then just put too much pressure for the opponent to deal with, and also just have so many outs to aggressive decks. Like, it's really, really insane how we're able to shut down aggro with this style. So it's another nice control deck that's got a lot of combo potential in it, got a lot of cool synergies and combos, like being able to kill off enough things for Thresh, the level, and then pull Viego directly from the deck is really cool. You love to see it's such a power turn, really, really high tempo value in order to get this Thresh off. You pretty much win off of that. And yeah, like I said, just a lot of deterrence, and it's able to deal with control quite well too. We also get to run Deny because we're in Ionia, so we're privileged in that regard. Alright, so for the Thresh Viego showcase game, we have Elusives, aka the strongest or one of the strongest decks in the meta. Homecoming, Greenglade Lookout, Valfeast. We'll keep Valfeast for Greenglade Duo. And we have Lookout, he's a nice early game unit. Oh, Double Vial. Double Vial's pretty good actually. I might be able to kill Zed. If he plays like 1-drop into 2-drop into Zed and doesn't have any protection, I just kill Zed with Double Vial. That could be the play. All I have to do is float 1 to pull that off, right? So I can play Greenglade here. Yeah. Let's see if he plays like Young Witch right now, or just a 2-drop in general. Oh, my Hydrovine's going to be discounted if this gets a strike. 6-mana Hydrovine sounds awesome. So yeah, whenever he strikes, reduce the cost of most expensive unit in hand by 1. 6-mana Hydrovine. Sounds good to me. I could get a Sharp Sight or a Twin Disciplines here as well, if he wants this tracker to live. Alright, interesting choice. Now my Lookout can get potentially more strikes in. Alright. Okay. Am I gonna see Zed on 3? I am! Classic. And bye-bye Zed. He is gonna get the value hit over my Lookout though, which kind of sucks for me. It's not gonna get the strike back because of quick attack. Pretty unlucky. We do have Shadow Assassin's good. Interesting hand. Not the most powerful.
Hey, Krabby. That's my resting face.
Yep. Okay. Ooh, Thresh is so good. I'd like to play Thresh here. Gonna grab Assassin, yeah? Okay. Yep. And then I play Thresh. Then I play Hydrovine. And we kill stuff. Kill lots of things. He can't play like Poppy plus Rally this turn. If he wants to Rally, I don't really know what it does. Like, it kind of annoys me at most, but he should probably save his rallies if he's on him. And he's doing it anyways. Okay, you also have to have a combat trick to beat over this. So you're also going to give me like a Sharp Side or something? Or Twin Disciplines? He is. That's a lot of resources just to kill my Thresh. That is a lot. He's on 3 cards in hand. He literally gave me a rally and a combat trick. So we can swing with Hydrovine and Mist. Hydrovine would get blocked by Tracker plus second Twin Disciplines. That's like worst case scenario. Still dies. And he's gonna be back on 3 cards in hand. And then we have to grind him out.
The Yordle here with me.
Let's see. Hydrovine's like one of the coolest cards by design. Wow, just taking all the damage. Sounds good to me. Here comes Poppy. Into open attack. Oh, it's dead. Okay. Custom's nice. Especially 2 of them. Sure, we can concussive one of these. See what he does next. Because there's also a world where I do like Twin Disciplines here to kill the Zed. I'm also kind of okay with just wearing down his resources, and then let's see what he does. Like if he does another rally here. No? Okay. I'm very happy playing nice and slow. The longer this goes on, I think the more it benefits us.
My shield is yours.
That's fine. Hey, folk. We can deny rally now. Which is huge. Absolutely massive to be able to deny rally. Swing here. Swing here. Just for fun. This is gonna die anyways. 2-1 also contests any of his elusives, which is good for us.
Where are you going?
Yep.
I am a true
Yep.
master.
Alright. No combat tricks, so we actually just get to take that Green Glade duo as well. Very nice. Yep, fine passing that.
My life for the Order.
Okay. Hacking.
Who are you?
Not dead. I think I stunned this. I do believe I stunned that. Can I get a response? No. Okay. Thought he'd have something and not just int off his Zed. Because if I thought he had nothing, I would have just Twin Disciplines to save my eggplant guy. He's just not doing anything. He's not playing rallies. He's not summoning units. He's passing on 9 over and over. It's kind of weird. Don't exactly know what's going on there. I do know everything can swing now. And this guy's fearsome, so he's going to have a combat trick to even try to block this.
You cannot escape. You like frogs, huh?
We also have burst 6 damage and a deny. Cool, sharp sight. Very nice.
Hold up.
We're gonna go for a surprise Twin Disciplines lethal, I suppose, with this deck. Not normal. Not normal at all. A little strange, but I did it. Alright, so for some closing thoughts about this deck, and something that I want to combine with tip 4 Mono Shadow Isles to give you guys more decks to play with. Essentially, if you build this one and you get Viego, you get 3 copies of him. You can also try my version of Mono Shadow Isles with Hecarim and Viego that's a little bit more on the control side. It's got more removal spells, it's got more late game stuff, it's more like supposed to be slow. So yeah, it's pretty cool too. You can play that, watch me play it on stream and whatnot. Also, if you get like all the Wraith stuff to play Mono Shadow Isles, which I profiled earlier, the first deck, you can also play Elise Callista Wraith aggro, aka Fearsome aggro, so I highly recommend checking out those if the Viego Thresh and the Elise Hecarim are not working out for you. Alright, and for the final deck, I have Thresh Nasus. So again, a pretty easy deck to build because you start with Thresh compared to other things, but this is now playing around the self-slay package that Shadow Isles has to offer, which is another completely awesome concept to play around in Shadow Isles. Really fun units. So basically you play Curse Keeper and Wings and Wave, you know, stuff like that wants to be like these little units, and then you play things that kill your own units. And the reason for this is because Thresh wants to see units die to pull something from the deck, so it's more often that you pull Nasus from this deck than you would pull Viego from the one that I just played. This one happens way more often. This is also a deck that I hit master with back in the Azir Aurelia meta. It was really good at crushing Azir Aurelia. So I also play like an aggressive version of it with Bakai Reaper, triple Dune Keeper, Wings and Wave, all the consistent early game, Rite of Calling to try to force draw your champion. It's really crazy. This is a like turbo Thresh Nasus deck, I would call it. It's super fun. So the whole point is just play explosive early game synergies like Dune Keeper, Bakai Reaper, Curse Keeper into Butcher. Oh, it's so fun. And then you basically just transition into Thresh on 5, collect a bunch of souls, summon out Nasus. Nasus hits, he's like a super big unit with Spell Shield, and then you just atrocity him into the enemy's face. Alright, so for this showcase game, we also got Elusives again. Wow, everyone loves playing Elusives. It is a very competitive deck. I guess people trying it out in norms, practicing it for ranked maybe. Not really sure, but we don't need this. We do Keeper, Caretaker. Man, I wish I was attacking on odds. If I was attacking on odds, this would be such an incredible combo. We could probably keep Black Spear. It deals with Poppy and Zed. Mainly Poppy. Zed even through Sharp Side, actually, if you think about it. When am I gonna play this Dune Keeper? I guess on 4, honestly. Yep, take that. Come on, top deck Ravenous Butcher. That's what I need here. Butcher time, damn it. Alright, Keeper it is. Yep. The classic combo. Tracker into Witch. You got it. Is it gonna be a Zed? No. That's surprising. Huh. Okay. Then we should do Dune Keeper here. It's completely fine. Yeah. Dies. No biggie. Then I do Bakai Reaper. Then we can glimpse this for draw. So we wanted to play Bakai Reaper first, so that when you see, like when you slay a unit, grant 1/0, he has to see this happen. So we're going to turn this guy into a draw 2 for us, which is really good for our resources. And it makes him a 2/2. Nice, we got Thresh on 5. We're going to do a power turn though. Blighted Caretaker plus Curse Keeper is an insane combo. Check this out. Boom. Just like that, we got 2 2/1s with Challenger and a 4/2. Very nice. And it's also buffing our Bakai Reaper. Okay, 2/1 into 3/1, 2/1 into 1/2, 4/2 swing, 1/1 swings, 3/2 swings. We want to attack with Bakai Reaper on the far right. In case anything dies during combat, he gets amped up the whole time. So always attack with Bakai Reaper on the right. Alright. This looks like a good attack for me. We might get 1 or 2 combat tricks so that these survive. If we get him on defense turn, then his hand state is terrible. Here we go. She lives. That's fine. We got the duo. Nice. And as we're killing things, this Nasus is amping up too. Yep. Completely fine. Yep. Sure. Guess we're okay with that. We'll just do Thresh here. If he wants to do a Relentless Pursuit or, you know, any rally plus a combat trick to kill Thresh, we might get that from him. Which is fine for us.
I've got your back.
Yep. Here it comes. I mean, rally's not really the best for him. Like, okay. Now what?
This way. Go.
You just want to deal damage to Thresh? I can even just leave this Caretaker here. It's completely okay. Alright, so for this turn, I kind of want to do Caretaker on this. That's why we left him alive. That's the soul for Thresh. It also turns on Black Spear for the turn in case he plays Poppy. And then we can swing into stuff. Control the board a little bit. Because he has like almost nothing in hand. So what we want to do is just take the board so he has nothing. We can just Black Spear that. That kills it even through Sharp Sight. He'd have to be on another Twin Disciplines. Oh, Syncopation. Okay, that doesn't do a whole lot for him. This is his action, and this is my response, so I'm gonna get Initiative again, and I'm just gonna swing into that. Yeah, GG. I literally just grabbed both, and then we have board, and our hand state is so much better than his. And there you go. Closing thoughts is that this deck is incredibly spicy, actually. This deck is really fun to play. It can get really explosive openers, especially off the back of Bakai Reaper into your self-slay stuff in order to get out extra value, extra damage. It's really fun. I enjoy the playstyle of this deck a ton, and it sucks that everyone put it away because Nasus got nerfed, but I think it's actually still in an okay position. You know what? Merciless Hunter got nerfed too, so hey, maybe it sucks, who knows? I actually think it's quite alright. Definitely a nice mid-tier strategy, maybe even high tier, depending on meta. I think this deck is a sleeper deck. You should always have it on your shelf. It's also pretty easy to play, as long as you learn like the early game combos of what you're trying to do. So I hope you enjoyed this Mono Shadow Isles 3 decks rundown. Shadow Isles is my favorite region, aesthetically and gameplay, and the champions associated with it, so it's a lot of fun to make this one. And that's it for this one. Please like and subscribe if you thought this video was informative or entertaining. It really helps me out since I'm still trying to grow. I'll be releasing more deck profiles, guides, and gameplay highlights in the near future. Thank you so much for watching and have a good one. Laters!